Good evening, class. Tonight we are going to look at Transformers Titanium series with die-cast construction, Optimus Prime. Now, obviously, this is not the regular Optimus Prime we're used to seeing. This is the FireTruk version from Robots in Disguise. I think it was called, what, Car Robots in Japan? I'm not sure. I could probably look, but I'm not going to right now. And so this would be the Optimus Prime that's also known as Fire Convoy, because, hey, he's a fire truck. So his truck form we'll look at a little bit, and then we'll transform him. But one thing I would like to point out is we got the instruction sheet here. We're not going to look at the whole thing, because I'm going to transform it for you. But look at that. Titanium series is a subdivision of Micro Machines. How crazy is that? Does anyone remember Micro Machines? And part of Galoob, and there's Hasbro. But look at that, Micro Machines. We have Micro Machine Transformers. Not just Micro Masters, not just those crappy mini-cons. We actually can say this is like a Micro Master Optimus Prime. It's not Micro Master, Micro Machine. That. Anyway. So the truck mode, it's not too bad. I mean, it looks more or less like a fire truck. And it does have metal parts. Like, I don't know how well I can show it, like show weight on the camera here, but this thing does have some heft. It does have the metal construction. Underneath you can see some bits of Optimus Prime there. But altogether, not too bad. Not too much you're going to do with this thing in fire truck mode. We can move the ladder, we can move it up and down so we can shoot things with the water gun here. We can flip the bits of the water gun in or leave them out. We can adjust the seat a little bit there. Not a whole lot we're going to do. So let's transform this figure, see what he's going to look like in robot form. Maybe get some of this stuff out of the way. Now, other thing I should point out is that it is part of the Titanium series, so it does have the die-cast metal construction, and so it does have some heft, but it also has a lot of plastic as well, which we'll see if we can look at as we're transforming this figure. And the one thing that I want to really say about the plastic for the figure is that the plastic is incredibly soft. I don't know how well I can show it, but the plastic feels flimsy, which is amazing because, again, the chest piece here and the shoulders and stuff, they're all going to be metal, which is good. But the feet, the legs here, are this kind of soft, almost flimsy, kind of cheap feeling plastic, and it kind of defeats the purpose of having something that's, you know, the die-cast construction, because, you know, it's supposed to be tough and awesome, and as Optimus Primal said once a long time ago, it's a lost art. But the legs themselves are kind of flimsy, and it's actually mildly annoying. Are all the titanium figures like that? No, but I found that that's the way it is with this one. It's like they spent a lot on the materials for the chest and whatnot, and the torso, and they went, oh crap, we gotta put some feet on this thing, and they kind of just wussed out. So that's his lower half. We'll adjust this up a little bit. The upper half is not going to be too much to worry about. We're just going to fold the shoulders down. Fold them like that. Pull his arms down, and then his hands, we're just going to flip out this way. He has no accessories, so there's nothing to put in there. And really, if we were looking at the original Robots in Disguise figures, you probably wouldn't either. Now, the water cannon, what we can do is we can turn this over this way. See if we can pop that right out, which I just did. Sorry about that. But it is supposed to go over his shoulder so he can shoot, but we're not going to do that. We're going to kind of leave it holstered, as it were. It's kind of, honestly, I think it's kind of stupid, this big thing that's supposed to be his cannon on his shoulder. So there he is. We have Optimus Prime in his robot form. Now this would be his super form, his Megazord form, his Super Saiyan. Well, maybe not Super Saiyan because he doesn't really change color, but he does. In the original Robots in Disguise with the original figure, and then in the show, he did merge with like the rest of his truck. Like the front part would come off, that would form the base of Optimus Prime, and the rest of it could form a little battle station and bigger shoulder guards, and then he would merge with it to form this bigger mode. Now, just a closer look at him. If we look at his face, it has more of the head of Optimus Primal, or even Optimal Optimus. He's got the mouth guard there that's got the opening so he can speak, or he can have his mouth there. Now, in terms of articulation, not really a whole lot. If we move this thing out of the way, which I'll do now, put that down, we can move his arms all the way around. We can move them out. We can rotate them this way. I don't know if we can go all the way around just because we have that one piece there. The elbow does bend, and the hand we can turn. The waist we can adjust sideways. You know, we get that delightful clicking sound. I don't know if it's going to go, well, I think we'll go all the way around. That's excellent. The hips are on that kind of double joint, so we can move them up into the side. This little piece here at the front keeps it from going too far forward. We can rotate a little bit at the thigh, again, if you like that little clicking sound, and the knee will bend. And the foot below that, nah, nothing, not really. In terms of the detailing, it's incredibly similar to the Robots in Disguise version. One thing I should point out, though, as I said before, it's kind of a super mode. Whoever designed this, I have to say, was pretty clever. They took the FireTruk and they turned it into the super mode without having to kind of take a smaller robot and then add the extra pieces on. It just all transformed without coming apart, and I was actually kind of impressed with that. But again, the legs are incredibly flimsy. Now, the other thing that this figure does come with is we have this. We have a stand. This little plate comes off, I guess, so we can interchange them, or it won't break, maybe, I don't know. And it does say Optimus Prime, just in case we forget. And we can mount this on the front there and set that down, and we can put our Optimus Prime on it. It doesn't help them stand up in any way. It's not going to help you do really action poses. It's more of a, I guess, just a display piece. Which will bring me to another kind of thing about this figure and any of the titanium figures. This is not, to me, in my opinion, the kind of figure that is really meant to be played with. This is one that you transform. You might put him in a slightly more dynamic pose. Not terribly easy to do with this figure. And then he's going to stand there and collect dust, or if you have him in a glass case, he'll just stand there looking pretty. You're not going to play with this figure too much. It's not the kind of hand candy where you sit there and you transform it while you're watching TV. This really is kind of something you just leave on your shelf. Color scheme is very close to the original. You can see there they even put in the mold the extra wheels, because he's got the wheels on the side here, but they would end up on the front of the original. I thought that was kind of nice. So if I was going to give this figure a grade, you know what? I shouldn't say. Oh, I should say it. This isn't one of my favorites. It's not one of my favorite Optimus Primes, and it's because I never liked the super mode. The smaller one is so much better. I would have loved it if they just had the smaller front of the truck and just had him be the smaller version of this Optimus Prime. So if I were to grade this figure, I would give it a B. It's Optimus Prime and I like it. I wouldn't have bought it otherwise, but it is not my favorite. So it gets a B, and it's because even though it's titanium, it's die-cast, a lot of the plastic parts feel cheap and very flimsy. And the fact that, let's face it, his legs are hollow and there's nothing there is mildly annoying as well. Figure stand, whatever, I don't care about those one way or another too much. Not too much in the way of posability. There's not a lot you're going to do with this figure. But it is nice to just have it standing there again with the rest of your Optimus Primes or whatever you have. It will guard your computer very well if you leave it. So I think that's about it for our Titanium Series Optimus Prime. Thank you very much, have a good night, and class dismissed.